Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
It's time for your daily dose of Dismal Disney.
Which isn't, it's every day right now.
Every day, it's your daily dose of dismal, everyday life.
And no one can accuse us of making this crap up.
No.
Like they do at other time, even if we're not.
You guys are all doom and gloom. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom because the sun will come out tomorrow.
Well, some tomorrow, not tomorrow.
It'll come out tomorrow, but we're not going to be able to go to the Disney parks or any theme parks or anywhere anytime
Well, actually,
soon.
I found a way.
Okay, yeah, tell people about that real quick.
So Squicking got a VR headset because he got it so he can play Half-Life Alyx. And if you use the VR headset, or you can just go without the VR headset, you can go to Google Earth and you can type in the different parks around the globe, and you can actually go and you can't really do street view so much, but you can go fly over the parks, and it's really neat because you can see like really cool things like where the parking areas are and some of the different behind the scenes stuff you usually can't see. I actually was using it. I was standing on top of the Tower of Terror looking around.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
But it was from a couple years ago though. I mean, this isn't like an up to date. They have Galaxy's Edge under construction, Toy Story under construction. It's from like a couple years ago, but it's still kind of cool to see. So I was doing that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So Geeky got to go to virtual Disney.
I did.
So we are at Ready Player One
There you go.
stage right now of things. Anyway, we're going to do a roundup of news about the parks and a lot of controversy around some of the decisions the parks have made and a lot of the indicators that the parks are not going to open in 2 weeks. Again, we don't know for sure, but it seems pretty damn reasonable to assume that the parks are not going to open anytime soon.
Probably.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff coming up here in regards to the Disney parks. And, again, that indicator that we think, personally, they're not going to be open for quite some time. And there are other people who whose opinions probably do way more than ours, including the top Disney travel agent.
No, I don't either. And we've been saying it. And it's not about waiting for them to confirm. This is about just by knowing what the CDC said.
Yeah.
They flipping closed schools in Florida until the middle of April now. They're on shutdown. They're canceling state mandated tests until the end of the school year. They're not going to open anytime soon. I'm sorry if people don't want to hear that. That's just the way it is.
So we're going to talk about all of this and do kind of a dismal Disney news roundup and some of the unfortunate side effects of this. Before we get into it, please subscribe to the channel for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. We do talk about Disney, but we talk about a lot of other stuff. We talk about Disney because we actually, believe it or not, do love Disney.
Actually, we just talk about what we're interested in and what we care about.
And,
so movies, comics, pop culture, Disney, that kind of thing.
And this is massive news because Disney is the biggest entertainment company on the planet. Mm-hmm. And this is going to hurt them really, really bad. It's going to have a ripple effect in the travel industry and the entertainment industry.
And I'm going to hear their post. They've got all kinds of money. No, I don't care how much effing money you have. This is going to hurt the companies really bad. Yeah. So let's get on with the actual video, okay?
All right. So Abigail Disney, who is very opinionated, right?
There's nothing wrong with a woman being very opinionated. There's trucks in the background, guys. I don't care. I'm not stopping to cut out every damn truck. We're talking over them. Because for whatever reason, though, even though our town is supposed to be, everybody's supposed to be self-isolating, there is more traffic than normal, and it's very, very loud.
Yeah,
so we're talking over it. So if there's trucks in the video, I don't really give a shit. Continue.
So what the hell's going? Yeah, this is funny because we've actually stopped this video a couple times. People, we've said before we live on a busy road, and it's noon, and normally there's less traffic than there is now. There's tons and tons of traffic. Like, people are supposed to be inside. In fact, our town signed an emergency declaration. You're not supposed to be out and about for anything that's not necessary. And we've actually got more traffic than we ever have at this time of day.
I'm not starting this thing again another 3 times. So Neon's gonna have to deal with it and just let it in there instead of cutting out every stupid truck. We don't have hours for you to do this.
No, we don't. But I'm wondering why there's so much traffic. Again, people not listening. Abigail Disney was angry, and this explains why that video, that goodbye fireworks show video, went missing. Was because there was a lot of backlash from a lot of people.
They put back up though, didn't they?
I don't know if they put back up, but it went missing for a day or so. But it wasn't just Abigail Disney. Lots of people were calling Disney out. They're like, wait a second. We got this contagious thing, right? I don't even know if we're allowed to talk about it yet.
We're not. We're just going to say the thing.
The thing. Everybody knows what it is. And you guys have people packed in like freaking sardines like freaking sardines in the Magic Kingdom.
Matt actually sent this over to me before, and Abigail Disney complains about a lot of things, so I wasn't surprised about this. But what was going on, and I think one of the reasons they had so many people packed in was the locals, but there were a lot of the people on the college program that were going to be sent home, and they were already told they were supposed to stop working, but they were still allowed to be there as until today, I believe. So they were coming out, like hugging each other and coming out in mass to go to the parks one last time before they were all sent away. So there are a lot of the crowds I know were employees and Disney college program people.
Yeah, but there were, a lot of people were taking them to task on social media. They're like, wait a second, we're shutting down the state, we're shutting down parts of the country, and you guys are shoehorning 40,000 people in the Magic Kingdom.
At that point, the mandate was already there. You shouldn't have
there.
more than 500 people in an area.
And we already know that thing has blown through Orlando International Airport. We don't know how many people could be carriers of it. So a lot of people felt it was very irresponsible, including Abigail Disney, who does complain about Disney a lot.
Yeah, but she has a point, I think, on this.
She does have a point. This is interesting though. This is who is this guy? There will be a reckoning for this, and the righteous anger we will level at companies like Disney will be a wonder to behold.
No, trust me, there's so many people apologizing for it. They'll go anyway.
Disney World is still open tonight. There are large crowds of people gathering tonight. They're not closing until tomorrow. Shameful and potentially catastrophic.
They kept it open as long as they could.
Yeah.
Disney Springs was still open until like yesterday, and there's pictures of people, like all kinds of people at Disney Springs, like a ton. Yeah. At that point, we're talking days after we already knew the MCO had it and everything else, which is the airport. Disney Springs was still open, and there was a crap ton of people at Disney Springs.
Yeah, I mean, I get, because this is the thing, like we talked about before, the parks basically bankroll all of the Walt Disney Company. Of course, they're hesitant to shut it down. If there was even a little bit of leeway, I think Disney probably would have left things open as long as they could, because they know this is going to be catastrophic for the company.
It is. And people were like, well, most people are going to be unaffected. Well, that's not necessarily true. But beyond that, you can have no symptoms. You could have no symptoms and still be contagious. So you might be okay. That doesn't mean that you're not spreading it around to a bunch of people who might not be okay. And that's the problem. And people don't seem to understand this. Also, what they're doing is they're trying to keep people isolated to slow the spread so that the hospitals and medical areas can keep up with the issue. So they aren't doing like Italy is doing, where they're telling some people they have to go home and too bad, we can't help you. Yeah. They're trying to avoid that. So, you might be fine. You might think you're going to be fine. But just for the sake of other people, and family members that you have that might be high risk, could you try to pay attention to the guidelines? Could
you try? Yeah, that's the thing. And people said with Disney that they announced a 2-week shutdown, that they were going to pay cast members for that 2-week shutdown. I think they didn't announce that they probably knew it was going to be like a 2-month shutdown, because they knew people would freak because they might only get there 2 weeks. Yeah, stock market. And it's already down. It's already dropping. I mean, Disney's dropping by the day.
We said they're gonna announce these closures in waves, because they don't want their stock to do what it's doing. So there's announcements like the schools are shutting down to mid-April, or different things that aren't under their control, it's still gonna make them take a hit. They're trying to release it. And they want to also know as soon as they can be open, when they can be open. So they're trying to not say too much ahead, I think, in case by some miracle they get the go ahead to open a little earlier than they thought. They don't want to say, hey, we're closing down to this date, and then finding out they could open 3 or 4 days earlier.
Yeah, and they're trying to keep people to keep the bookings. That's the thing, because right now
that's a big thing right now.
Well, they're also telling people. I think they were telling travel agents that they could move their bookings anytime through the end of June. That's not a very good indicator either, because that tells me
that they're not having cancellation fees until then.
Yeah, because it tells me that they're even thinking internally it could be a couple of months.
Well, that, or they figure people, might not shift until later, and then something happens in their family. It took a little longer to hit them than it did.
Yeah.
Maybe they're thinking some leeway for guests too, but. Yeah, this is not a good thing, and I don't expect anything to open up anytime soon, and I don't know why people are acting like, it's going to.
They want to pretend that it's not as big of a deal as it is. And we see a lot of people, and it's sort of a denial, because it is. It's almost like this is almost like a movie. You see these movies about this sort of, national catastrophe, and all the reactions to it, and you're like, oh, that could never happen. All the schools and all the businesses and everything would just shut down one day. And it is.
It is. And again, I'm going to bring up that negativity and honesty are not the same thing.
Right.
When you want to hear negativity, no, look, we're trying to be honest with you. I could lie to you, or I could tell you nothing and then be like, hey, figure it out for yourself. Good luck when it all falls down on you without any notice. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you, look, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody does. But here's what we're hearing, and just be prepared for these situations. If they don't happen, great.
Yeah.
If they do, you know ahead to prepare for it. That's what most of these blogs, including Disney Unplugged, is trying to do.
Yeah, now Pete Werner, I'm going to give him kudos for this. Pete Werner he owns Dreams Unlimited, and he owns the Diz boards and a number of other Disney sites. He's actually, I believe the top Disney travel agent in the country.
Well, he was when we were there.
Yeah, so I think he still is. I don't know, but he
probably is. He was way ahead.
He's thought of telling people Disney is closed through March 31st. He thinks that, he's telling everybody, like, don't expect on April 1st that everything is going to go back to normal.
And they'll probably open in waves anyway. That's what all the other parks are doing.
Yeah, they'll open
Disney Springs first.
And
they'll open it in sections or waves. They're not going to just be like, hey, it's April 1st, everything's open, hot damn. That's not going to probably happen anyway, as we can see with the parks in Asia.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good indicator, and that's what he was bringing up was, when Shanghai opens, then you know that they're going to start looking at opening here. But, the fact that they're keeping Tokyo and Shanghai closed and Hong Kong closed, like, that's not a good sign.
No, Tokyo,
it's been months.
Disneyland they're actually going to run some of their shows and put them on their YouTube channel, because what happened is there were some shows they had that were going to be ending because they were limited run, or they were just ending them. Like they had Fantasmic was one of them. There was a Pixar show. There's a it's very mini or something like that. There's like 3 or 4 show at a Lilo and Stitch one, and they had certain ending dates that are during the closure. So because they're going to end before the park would open, they're going to actually put them up on their YouTube channel. If you go out to piratesandprincesses.net, I actually have the link to the YouTube channel on there, because it's actually not that easy to find. It's on there, so you can actually watch these shows from anywhere in the world when they post them, because they're going to be closing them down, and you might not have ever gotten that chance normally. So there's a silver lining to this.
Yeah, you can do more from home, I guess. So that's a silver line. But yeah, it sounds like everybody's kind of hunkering down for the long term. Epcot, we wondered what was going to go on there. They've shut down the construction.
They shut down all construction in Florida. Pretty much. The construction companies are being told they're not supposed to send their people out because they're part of that, 2-week shutdown. So that's not going on. So the idea that maybe they would fix some of the things that were broken while they had the downtime is not going to be coming true right now.
I wondered that anyway. I wondered about that anyway.
I did too, actually.
Because people are like, oh yeah, they'll just fix everything. This is like
they're supposed to be not going out and associating with other people.
people are. This is not registering with people.
Oh, and the money too.
The money too. They're losing hundreds of millions of dollars per week that the parks are closed down. Okay, they're not going to have the money to fix everything. They didn't have the money to fix everything before, and that's when Disney was making money. That's why the stuff was in disrepair.
And I'm still thinking that Kneon's right, that Epcot will probably stay closed longer than the rest, because it is one giant construction zone anyway, and a lot of people are avoiding it because it's it's all under construction. Plus Ratatouille, I thought of something too. When Ratatouille was supposed to open in summer, which it still could even if they close it for a few months, but they just said summer. If they had Ratatouille open right now, with the main entryway being the way it is, because right now when you go into Epcot and you go up to Spaceship Earth, there's 2 small pathways. One goes to the right and takes you over to like the seas and, Journey to Imagination in the land. And the other one takes you in front of where Guardians of the Galaxy is going to come soon, and then over to like Test Track and all that, the other side. But you have to go completely around to get to the World Showcase anyway. So these narrow walkways, when they had Ratatouille open and the main entryway was the front of the park, I mean, unless you're staying over by, the International Gateway, you're going to have to come in the main entrance. Could you imagine what kind of cluster that would be?
Yeah.
With all these people trying to run. Now they kept it closed a little bit longer. They can get that open, that middle section open again, so they can get traffic through. So, they don't have that cluster of people trying to, get to Ratatouille in France, which is clearly the other side of the park.
Yeah, and people are waiting for an official word from Disney. The thing is I don't think Disney's gonna do, like you were saying, because of stock prices, because they don't want to panic their people. They're gonna wait till the end of the 2-week period, and then they're gonna drop another 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're gonna do it in small sections, or they're gonna announce the bad news after they get some kind of bounce back on their stocks before they announce another bad news, because they don't want to keep coming down.
Yeah, well, it's pretty unavoidable at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody knows. I think it's starting to sink in that this could be a months-long shutdown. I mean, we're talking into summer, possibly. Again, it would be great if they opened up sooner, but being realistic and wiping the pixie dust out of our eyes, it's probably going to be months.
Yeah, at least the end of April.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's me just trying to be nice and make people feel better.
There are states out there that are basically telling kids to stay home throughout the rest of the school year, which is taking us into June.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of which, this is not a good sign either.
Well, I mentioned this earlier, yeah. But they're closing the schools down till mid-April, April 15th.
Yeah, and it could extend beyond that.
Yeah, they said, and I have it right here. They said at least April 15th.
Kansas, I guess, is shutting down everything for the rest of the school year. Other states are talking about the rest of the school year.
I know they said they've mentioned it in Ohio and possibly PA. Now, Florida kids, right now, their school year is extended out to June 30th.
Yeah,
so they're trying to make up some of it. I feel bad, and I see it on Facebook a lot, but I do feel bad for college seniors this year because this was their year. This was prom. This was like all the big end of year trips and all the big things they worked for all these years to graduate. And now they're gonna lose some of that stuff because of the extended school closings. And I do feel really bad. And then our son, he was supposed to take the SATs. SATs have been canceled until maybe June, maybe.
Yeah,
and then what if he doesn't get to take them? I mean, how's that going to affect him next year trying to go to college? Because if he has to wait and he can't apply for anything until he takes a test, which isn't going to happen until spring usually. And then how's he going to get accepted to college? Because by then you had to have your applications in.
I think for everybody's going to lose like 6 months of their lives. Like it does feel like the snap from Infinity War, and even when life returns to normal, it's not quite the same. There's this time shift. There's going to be, especially with the travel industry, there's going to be before the snap and after the snap. Things are absolutely going to be different.
Yeah, because even when people are allowed to travel again, people aren't going to right away.
No.
I mean, we saw this with 9/11. People aren't going to travel right away. There's going to be a delay. People are going to wait till they feel secure or financially secure because a lot of people are laid off of work. Some of them have lost their jobs completely over this. And unemployment is being taxed. They're trying to release money to people and help them as fast as they can. But, the government can only do so much. This is going to be awful. A lot of people have to cancel their trips just because they can't afford to go. And I'm not going to encourage them to put their family at risk to go to a trip to, for more bookings because they don't have the money.
Yeah, that's really crap. And I mean, I understand the travel industry is going to be hit big time. I just did a story today talking about the $800 billion hit. Okay. I mean, they said this is going to be 6 times as bad as 9/11.
I believe it. Cause that was like, it happened, but it wasn't like an ongoing, the whole country had to shut down kind of thing.
Right. And they had a meeting on Tuesday with the president, the travel industry, a bunch of people from Disney, from Universal, from the Travel Association. And Disney was basically like, they're looking for help. Disney has their hands out at this point. Okay, that's pretty bad. When everybody's like, oh, Disney's got infinite money.
Well, you know what? A lot of these companies are going to do that because they want to offset their expenses, they don't lose more stock market shares and all that. And they want other people to bail out their employees because they don't want to lose. We're going to be honest. A lot of these companies do that.
Yeah, but it's look, guys. Let's wipe the pixie dust out. California, and I was shocked by this. California in Orange County yesterday or the day before said no gatherings. It went from 250 people to 50 people to 10 people to nada. They do not want you out at all for the foreseeable future. There's not even a date on this.
Hey, and where's Disneyland?
Where is Disneyland? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, is that over by Orange County?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, so, I mean, look, guys, let's not even mince words here. It's going to be a couple months. I think. And they extended the closures again. They wait until the weekend that they're supposed to open it up again and be like, oops, yep, we're keeping the parks
that's what we're telling you they're going to do because they're trying to mitigate the damages and they're trying to get people not to cancel their trips.
Yeah.
So they're trying to hold on to all the money they can. So of course they're not. I mean, I can understand completely why.
Now, here's where it really sucks and where it really hurts. And everybody's like, okay, well, they're going to pay their cast members for 2 weeks and April 1st, everything's going to be back to normal, magic. No, because not everybody is on Disney's payroll. We've talked about this before.
We don't know what happens after April 1st.
We don't know what happens. I think Disney knows what happens, which is why they had their lobbyists talking to the president because they're like, oh my God, we're going to have 40,000 people out of work. Mm-hmm. A lot of the restaurants in Walt Disney World and Disneyland are not actually owned by Disney.
No, they're third party.
They're third party, including Rainforest Cafe, T-Rex Cafe, Yak and Yeti. They're actually owned by, this is just one example too. Landry's Restaurants owns a whole bunch of restaurants, different Disney properties. One of their employees basically said, all Landry's employees all over the world, they closed all of his doors. Ferretti, I guess is the guy who owns it, closed all his doors to every Landry's restaurant and casino without notice, and everyone must apply for unemployment If you have PTO, it is now lost. And you will not receive anything. Just an FYI for any of my peeps that work at Joe's Crab Shack, Rainforest Cafe. I didn't know they own Joe's Crab Shack.
Yeah.
You're not going there anytime soon, right? T-Rex, Yak and Yeti, or any Landry's concept in New York or New Jersey. This is a worldwide thing. We will not be compensated. Please spread the word. They're gone. Like, they're not going to let people go like that if they intend to open again anytime soon.
Well, anytime soon. They might be intending to open again, but that's going to be so far down the road that they're just figuring they'll just rehire then.
And I was watching a video on, I think it was on CNN, and they were talking to people that the most affected people are the people who work in retail and the people who work in food service, because
not highly paid jobs to begin with.
Right. And they're non-essential. They're non-essentials. Here in Pennsylvania, they've already said, all non-essential businesses should shut down. New York, New Jersey doing the same thing. Now, if you work at a grocery store, you're okay.
Yeah.
But this is going to be catastrophic to, I guess, the backbone of the labor force in the service industry and the travel industry. They're talking. 4.6 million people. I'm sorry, 4.6 million people are going to be displaced just in like food service and travel related stuff.
Well, then the unemployment claims are taxing out certain states too. They're like, an OPA waived the week waiting period.
Yeah.
And that's great, but I think it's going to happen is a lot of people are going to be hitting it, and I don't know how it's going to hold up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't stress to you that, and you read about this stuff, and you read about people who are like, I can't wait, and we're just shifting our plans back to April, and it's going to be so great. It's like, you don't understand. This changes everything. This changes everything for so many people, and I get pissed because I'm reading people about like, can't wait to go do my $10,000 vacation. There are going to be people that are going to be completely out of work for God knows how long.
And then you're like waving around your $10,000 vacation.
So we'll bring this up. I don't know if this is
I don't think it's true. I'll tell you what, I don't think it's true. It's too out there, but I think it's based on kernels of truth, because I saw people online complaining about the Disney Plus thing and being like, you know what, you should give us all Disney Plus for free for a year since we had to cancel our vacations. So I can completely see where that's believable, because people would behave this way. I've seen people behave similar ways. I just think they pushed a little bit too far to make it completely believable. But it's hilarious, and I don't know if it's true. If it is true, if it's true, this person should be really ashamed of themselves. But even the name of the account, I think, makes it sound like it's not true. So do you want me to read it?
Yeah, let's go down here. This is about some, apparently, allegedly, possibly, maybe, some woman who's angry about her magical vacation being postponed because of a worldwide crisis. Well, she was going for
10 days at the Grand Floridian. I mean, it just
people do.
Angry effing mom is the name of the account. So, I mean, come on. I don't think this is legit, but I think there's a lot of cast members I've talked to who are like, you know what? Based on my experience, though, it's probably not real. But based on my experience, it's pretty believable. So here it is. Should I do my wine mom?
Go ahead and do your wine mom voice.
So my 30s, this woman's like, my husband 40 called me a psycho biatch for demanding the Cinderella Castle suite from Disney customer service rep. Okay. I'm writing this in the bathroom because I just got into a huge argument with my husband and I don't know what to do. Hashtag Walls can't save this. We and our 3 children had an upcoming trip planned for Disney World on Tuesday, a 10-day stay at the Grand Floridian and a wonderful itinerary. Come on, seriously? That included all 4 parks and Blizzard Beach. No one's going to say that. Of course, the parks have now closed and my children are beyond devastated because my little angels matter more than anybody else's little angels. That's why my kids go to Disney and your kids don't. I called Disney's customer service line to speak with a representative about how they can make this right. He promised a refund and the ability to rebook for another time, but that obviously isn't good enough. I told him that he needed to do better, and that and he said he was just following the guidelines put forth by the company. Well, I don't care. Tell the company to change their guidelines. My little precious Timmy wants to go to effing Disney World. I suggested as a means to rectify this that he provide us future accommodations in the secretive suite located in Cinderella's castle. Hell yeah, I'm paying for the Grand Floridian. I'm paying more than all these other people anyway, and I was going for 10 days at the Grand Floridian, people. I'm adding stuff just so you know. So I deserve the Cinderella Castle suite. I'm going to continue. I said the only way to make up for the hardship my children are facing. Timmy is crying right now. And his cries are more important than the other kids' cries because I paid for 10 days at the Grand Floridian. So, my only make up for the hardship that my children are facing is to provide us with a truly unforgettable experience. One that goes beyond the standard Disney trip. Because we're special. and will completely wash away the painful memories that my little Timmy has to deal with that will undoubtedly stay with them for years. What better way to do so than to stay in the castle of Cinderella herself? Hashtag, oh my God, guys, I would be the only one with the hashtag Cinderella wall. He audibly scoffed at this, no kidding, and said that was way, way, way beyond his authorization. He said tens of thousands had had their vacations ruined, but they're not me. They were paying 10 days at Grand Floridian. And that it wasn't his or the company's fault, and they were doing the best they could. Sure they were. This dismissal pissed me off.
Shut up, Karen.
Yeah, pretty much. I told him that yes, it wasn't his fault, but it was his responsibility to make it right. You're a customer service person. You get on the phone. You call Chapek and Iger yourself because you have that power, and you tell them that my special ass and little Timmy special ass and his sister Karen Jr. special ass deserves to stay in Cinderella Castle. How dare you? I know you can do it. You're all together. You all hang out. Clearly. Excuse me.
You're losing your voice. You're also frothing at the mouth a little bit.
I'm not. I told him that yes wasn't okay, wait, whatever, make it right. Surely, instead of closing down a multi-billion-dollar media conglomerate that's a hegemon in the global theme park industry would have the capacity to simply screen for sick visitors at each park entrance. Instead, they ruined my children's entire year.
This can't be
You
true.
don't touch my children. You don't do anything to my children. You don't even look cross-eyed at my children. Glug, 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 glug.
This can't be real.
No, I don't think it's real.
This can't be real.
And what about the fast pass reservations that we meticulously booked during our first day of eligibility? Now, I'm going to stop for a second. Yeah, because what happens for those who aren't familiar, so many days out of your vacation, you're allowed to book fast passes. I think what's it, 3 months?
Yeah.
And Disney reservations for dining 6 months. And a lot of these things for like the high demand attractions or restaurants are going like that. I kid you not. You have to keep constantly checking for months to make sure that you can find an opening, which I have found multiple times. But everybody jumps on it. They will literally get up at like 2 a.m. to make sure that they get their bookings, okay? And I'm not kidding. This actually happens, all right? So this is why it makes it believable. What about the dinner plans with the princesses? Gosh, at the Cinderella Castle. It's right, Cinderella Suites right there. It would make it really convenient. Well, while we're at it, why don't you just open up Cinderella's royal table just for us? How do they think it feels for me as a parent to tell my children they can't visit the happiest place on earth because they might get sick and die? Okay, hold on. After all this, the smug rep just repeated that he could only offer refunds for the time being and an opportunity to rebook. Don't you know who I am? I'm Karen. I again stated that was insufficient and that I at least expected a lifetime subscription to Disney Plus. Fine, I can't go to the castle suite, then you better fucking give me Disney Plus for life. And he straight up laughed and said, that's not my department. Don't call up Iger, call up Chapek. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm Karen. Oh my God. Timmy and Mini Karen.
Calm down, Karen.
I hung up the phone in a rage. And my husband immediately was like, what the fuck was that? He told me I was a psycho bitch. Can you believe it? He called me a psycho bitch. My lawyer's on speed fucking dial. For the way I spoke to the customer service rep, that I was extremely unreasonable and rude, and I told him it's for Timmy and Karen Jr. And he was genuinely disturbed by my behavior. Well, it's not my fault that he's easily upset. He said he doesn't know what happened to the woman he married, and he's not sure he can ever look at me the same way again. But there's the door! I'm deeply, deeply hurt that he would say such things about me when I was just trying to do his best for our children. Our relationship has been rocky for the past couple years, and Disney was supposed to make it better. It was supposed to be the opportunity to rekindle that fire, because we were going to get it on while the kids were in the room.
Bring back a little souvenir.
That's right. And they Cinderella suite would give us extra bedrooms probably. So, now it feels like that might not be possible. He is usually quite soft-spoken. So I'm shocked and devastated by his abusive language towards me. I don't know if I can forgive him. Hashtag life sucks, Walt. glug, 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 glug.
Hashtag glug, 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 glug.
And scene.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think it's real.
I don't think it's real either. I read the whole thing. I'm like, it's clearly not real.
But you know what? There are wine moms out there right now having meltdowns about this. You
Being on the blogs and the Disney groups. Actually, I'm losing my voice now. Being on the blogs and the Disney groups, I actually know for a fact there's kernels of truth of each section because I've seen the behavior, but not to the level that it's telling you. I mean, not to the level this is playing it up to.
Yeah, they're like, and I can't believe it. I mean, you got social media and there's people that are all, that's all they're talking about. It's like, oh my God, how's this gonna affect my magical Disney memories? Oh, they better be open on April 1st.
You know who I feel bad for? People who are gonna get married then. Or
Yeah,
had honeymoons or something very, really, really important. Unlike just your trip. I'm not saying your trip isn't important, but I'm just saying things that are like big life events. They paid way more money than people probably paid for 10 days at Grand Floridian, and they have to cancel. What you can do? Our wedding's been planned for 2 years, and now we have to cancel and hope we can get our refund from everything.
Yeah.
Or push it back or whatever. I mean.
Yeah, this is like, look, people, this is real life, baby.
This is real life, baby.
You know, and people just, I don't think it's sunk in yet. I don't think it's sunk in. Disney might be down for months. Disney is not going to be the same after this. There are a lot of people affected who are going to be losing their jobs, losing their livelihoods. And I'm sorry your precious ass doesn't get to go to the Grand Floridian for 10 days. But
I think the majority of people understand it.
I would like to think so.
No, they really do. It's just that there are some people, and you go on these boards, I've talked to you about before, about how people ask a simple question and a reasonable question. Everybody jumps on their throat. Like, fine, don't go to Disney, cancel your trip, haha, more room for me. You know, and stuff like that. And they were making these like nasty, like,
yeah, they were.
As soon as you've seen, I showed you. Yeah. As soon as someone even ask a simple question, and then they had to clarify their question because people just dogpiled. People, like, they weren't asking about the thing we can't talk about. They were asking about something else. It was ridiculous. And I saw people say, well, after our trip's canceled, we should be all given a year free of Disney Plus. Oh my gosh. God, yeah. We should be given this perk or that perk. And I have seen people on there. I'm staying in, people make comments like, you know, do they get upgrades if you're staying at, like, you know, Pop Century or something? And then they literally mock them and say, that's not an upgrade. We only stay at the Deluxe. We stay at the Deluxe too. Whoopie ding dong. And quite frankly, some of the moderates are as good, if not better, than the Deluxes.
Yeah, I think the Deluxe is a lot more.
It doesn't make it, so there's this definite disconnect where I'm an annual pass holder. I'm a Disney, you know, DVC member. I'm a, you know, blah 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 club, you know, Mickey Suckass Club member. You know,
Mickey Suckass.
There's like, and if anybody comes in like, this is my first trip, and we scraped together for like 5 years to go, and we're staying at Pop Century because that's what we can afford. And there's definitely a mocking, arrogance in the way some people are treated and some people behave, and that's just the way it is. Yeah,
I think there's going to be a rude awakening, not just for Disney as a company, but for a lot of people who go to Disney. Because this is going to change everything. Fundamentally, this is going to change everything. And to quote the Wonder Pets, this is serious.
I haven't thought of the Wonder Pets for years.
This is serious.
This is serious. Oh my God. I forgot about the Wonder Pets.
So
my kid used to watch the Wonder Pets all the time.
This is serious. Okay, so we're gonna keep tabs on this serious situation. Try to keep smiling, guys. It will pass. This will pass. Just put things in perspective. What is important right now?
You'll get to go. It just might take a little bit longer. Just, you know, chill the flip out. It'll be fine.
Your friends and family, your health, your money, that's important right now.
Right, you might come, when the time this is over, you might not have the money anymore to be taking a trip. And those of you who do, stop being so effing arrogant if you're one of those people towards people who don't. Because you know what? For them, it matters more because they worked harder for it. Yeah. And you don't get to sit there and be like, just don't be an arrogant ass. I don't care who you are. Just, that's my word of advice for today. Don't be an arrogant ass.
All right, so we're going to wrap this one up. I'm sure there will be more dismal Disney news. Actually, what I expect to happen is to see more fallout, more, you know, within the next week or two. I think Disney's going to announce that they're going to be closed longer. Mm-hmm. I can almost guarantee it. And then we're going to start hearing about the economic effects.
Right.
It's going to get bad, guys. And I'm sorry.
I'm not going to lie to you about it.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, we're not going to lie. It's going to get bad. And definitely our hearts go out to all the people who are going to be affected by job loss or other ripple effects of this.
Yeah, we've been thinking about you.
Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.